So what we're going to do today is look at the outcome of Dudley and Stevens' case. And the first thing we need to do is work out the ratio of the case, work out what can we extract. Because as we saw, Dudley and Stevens were found guilty of murder. I think the most important thing for me is to see in their faces and in their kind of, as they're listening, hopefully, and when they take down notes, that they're actually thinking about it and learning something. You can see their minds working. I mean, you can actually see it. So what we have to work out is what principle or rule can we get out of the case from what was decided. And the way you want to ask them to engage their mind and see them one side of the brain work, another side of the brain work, they can actually start to think about. Yeah, and so you're really trying to, I suppose, in a sense, infiltrate their thinking process, which sounds a bit dangerous, but that's what we're trying to do. So let's look at a possible ratio, and I think this one is probably too narrow, and then we'll look at what I think is probably the arguable ratio for the case. I think that's the key to going to lecture. You've got to free your mind up and just, you've got your material, but go with it in terms of how you see things, and sometimes a response in the class can be, can just put their finger on it. Would he have said, aha, now it's clear who should die? Would that have made a difference to him? We go back to his reasoning. No, you're right, so tell us why. Even if it was certain, let's assume it was certain, would it have made any difference to Lord Coleridge?
You can tell that he really loves the topic and really loves talking about it and explaining it and trying to, get his points across and getting us to understand, which is, makes it interesting, makes it really easy to learn.
Very engaging. He seems to manage to make eye contact with almost everyone, which is really nice. You feel like he's talking at you rather than just to the masses, and he's quite sort of dynamic in his movement, doesn't just stand there and, he really makes it a bit more tangible than just spoken.
What I want to do now is put a little video clip on. The first one's from a movie called Vertical Limit, and that's based on a scenario of someone being cut off a mountain. The second one's from a real case about two Englishmen climbing in the Andes, and one had to cut the other one, and we'll see a little clip, and he talks about what it was like when he cut that rope. I've always been a Monty Python fan, that everything has a ridiculous side to it, and if we can see, it kind of releases us, it frees us up to sort of say, we can survive this. And I suppose the first thing he says, I won't be your friend if you try that sort of trick on me again. But no, he didn't say that. He actually said, you did the right thing. But the question is, did he do the right thing? A lot of people have the impression that law is just a lot of rules, but it's a human thing. So there's a lovely human element to it. So how we interpret those rules and how we apply them. So you learn a lot about the kind of society you are. It's not just a black and white thing. And that's the one thing about law I really like. And you have to fight for every position and say, why is this more important than that? And that's the way life is, I think. There isn't, if we all knew the answers to everything, it was all black and white, it'd be a little scary, wouldn't it? So you did the wrong thing and don't do it again. But on the other hand, we're going to excuse it. And that's in a sense what happened in the real case, wasn't it? It was said not to be, it was the wrong thing to do, the court said, but it was excused by the sovereign, in a sense. So it's a great skill for thinking, it's great to learn about your society, and I think also you learn about the values that you think are really important and the values of your society, and you can challenge them.